Are you listening? Damn. Yeah. Yeah.
What's up, everybody? Welcome into the Run In Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, Big Mike, and I am joined, as always, by my brother, I guess, King Sped tonight. What's going on, King Sped? Man, that sounds bad coming out of the mouth.
Hey, it sounds great. All right, everybody here. All right, I'm sorry, but the king is here. And if you guys hear my daughter, she's trying to go to sleep. I'm sorry. How's everybody doing?
We're good, man. And as you can see, we have a whole cast of characters here tonight. We'll go through and introduce them. They are here to help me take that crown away from Sped, just so I don't have to hear him have it anymore. So we will start off to my right. Brian, he is with a good friend of ours. Met him a while back on the Herb and Raj podcast, which you guys saw last night on our stream. He is with A Show Enough Divided, which is an NFL show, kind of on a hiatus on the off season. What's going on, Brian? But he's also a huge wrestling fan. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing great, man. Doing great. Just ready to talk some wrestling.
Yes, sir. And speaking of talking some wrestling, we also have the ultimate one from the Chokeslam Wrestling Report podcast. What's going on, brother?
I'm good, bro. I'm good. Like I said, I'm here to try to take the crown myself. So
yes, sir. Look, as long as Sped doesn't walk home with it, that's all that matters. As long as we can get out of his hands, that's what matters.
Great.
Last but not least, we have the king of DWE, Mr. Miami the Great. What's going on, Miami? How you doing tonight?
What's going on, guys? I mean, hey, I told you earlier, Big Mike, I'm like The Rock. When he said I need the soul, I need the crown. Give me that crown. I need it from you. I have much respect for my guys here, but I'm here for the crown. That's it.
I feel
that. All right, we will say hello to some of the guys, some of the people out in the crowd that make the show go round. First up, Lady Alpha, who's on our behind the scenes. What's up, Lady Alpha? Saying hey to Herb from the Herb and Raj podcast. What's going on, Herb? Welcome in. Thank you. And thank you last night for an incredible WrestleMania preview that we got to go with Herb and Raj. And had a great time talking wrestling with those guys, kind of casual fans, get to explain the ins and outs of some of the storylines. So great time. You can catch them on Tuesday nights at 8 o'clock Central on the Herb and Raj podcast. Nate, longtime listener, appreciate you coming in, man. Carol, glad you're here tonight. Thank you very much. Thank you. Let's see. Anybody else? Robert coming in, fairly new listener, started with us this week. Appreciate you coming in tonight. Hopefully you're ready for some wrestling and some predictions. As you saw, Stampede is our wrestling encyclopedia, watches more wrestling than pretty much anybody else I know combined. So thank you for coming in, Stampede. He'll definitely be able to give us some behind the scenes knowledge and stats and things like that from not only WWE, but from around the world. I don't think the man ever sleeps. He watches so much wrestling. And Michael from Kicking Out at 2, they have a podcast as well. Kicking Out at 2 podcast at 8 o'clock on Tuesdays as well. So catch him and Tori, his co-host, as they talk wrestling as well. But man, it's WrestleMania weekend, guys. How hyped are you? Everybody ready to hype?
I'm ready for the wings that I'm about to make and pizza. Come on, we're talking about
Right,
food.
right.
the match I'm interested in that was
going to be my next question too.
Yeah.
The match I'm interested in WrestleMania is that three-way between CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins, because that whole Paul Heyman situation is like, who is he going to turn on? See, and that's because he now supposedly he owns Seth Rollins a favor. So now I mean, when we get to the prediction, I have my thoughts on that, and we'll talk about that.
Which is so weird too. And where else except for in wrestling would you owe somebody a favor just because they didn't decide to stomp your head into a mat? Like that's not real life. That's what we love about wrestling is it's just so crazy. You owe me now because I didn't decide to put you unconscious out on a mat. So now you owe me a favor. That's awesome.
It's funny because that promo was a good promo because the way Seth Rollins said it is all the stuff that Paul Heyman has gone through with, Roman Reigns and the CM Punk. He never had really a history with Seth Rollins. So it makes it look like, Paul's going to be with Seth Rollins. But but the way we saw it this past Monday, it's like, oh, okay. Now it has you thinking, okay, If you pick this one, you're gonna come out wrong. If you pick that one, it's just gonna come out wrong. So that one is the hardest one, I think,
I feel
out of
that.
all the matches that I see on the card.
I feel that.
Yep. So going through the rest of the room, Brian, what match are you most excited for this weekend?
Man, everybody's going to go and gravitate towards the triple threat match because the build on it was probably better than anything else really for this Mania season. But as far as like excitement level, I'm just going to go a little different. I'm going to say the IC title, four-way match. Like I'm ready for that. There's going to be some shenanigans there, and I mean that's just to me that it's going to be fun. Now, if we are we including stand and deliver?
I mean, you can if you want to. We won't have predictions for him, but if you're most excited for stand and deliver, that's all good.
Yeah, no, hey, I'm excited for that for the women's mid card title there for the North American title.
Oh, that's gonna be a good one.
The ladder match. I mean, that women's division in NXT is top notch. It's in my opinion, in some ways better than the main card. Even though you have better talent on obviously the main card, but as a whole, I mean, the future is bright for WWE in the women's division. So,
yeah, 100%. Miami, I know you're having a little bit of technical difficulties. If you didn't hear the question, what match are you most excited about for this weekend?
There are actually two matches I'm most excited about. Of course, my guy Roman Reigns. That's my guy. That's my dude. The triple threat match. Cena and Cody. Those are the only two matches I can say legitly I'm most hype about. Because I want to see the outcome. Because one thing Seth Rollins said that whatever happens in the triple threat match, it's on the it's the legacy of the company. It makes me say and it makes me ponder. Because whatever they do, they're going to have to book very well at the Mania. I think the booking has been crazy, but I've seen this moment before because there was a backlash, and if I'm not mistaken, I think after WrestleMania 39, where the card was like, I was like, oh my God, this card is horrible, but the show was actually good. So I will give Triple H his benefit of the doubt because a lot of us fans and I would say creators where we say we're kind of hard on the people who's doing the booking. When it comes to it, we got to give these people their flowers. Now, if they go out without a hitch with with these shows giving us the show that we wasn't suspecting, let's give them a round of applause. But there are going to be people that are going to push back and say, well, it wasn't well built. I think WWE has the problem where no matter what they put out, they've been doing so well that people are going to watch it. People are going to talk about it. People are going to look at it. They're going to see it no matter what they do and how they do it. So I feel like these matches that we have, they're going to do something. They're going to do something, guys. It's just me. And this is coming from one of the biggest, I would say, WWE fans, because I watched it since before the Attitude Era, before Ruthless Aggression. But I've been here before. I was around when the pandemic happened, when they was doing the most horrible booking, when people was going to sleep 3-hour Raw. And it was just the baddest booking I ever seen in history. And people acting like this is bad. No, you guys have missed out when the other company was made that this is not bad. Trust me, I've seen bad. When the Thunderdome era was around, that was bad. But we have to see, we got to give these guys the benefit of the doubt because they've been doing this for quite a long time. But I don't care what no one say. After this, the booking has to get better. No matter what match we go into seeing. That's just my thoughts, guys.
I got to kind of agree with Miami there because I usually don't watch Raw. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I see the clips on YouTube. I check out whatever's, was really going on, the highlights. I saw Raw this past Monday, and I did not like the way it was booked. It looked like it was just, I even went on Twitter and said, this suck balls, really, because I never seen a go-home show before WrestleMania on a Raw to be this. It was like a regular Monday Night Raw. The best part, I think I stood up just to watch the last part between, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and all that. But I also want to bring up something I saw in the chat. Robert Brown said that he feels that Seth Rollins should not be in this match. Now,
Yep.
I kind of disagree with him on that because remember, CM Punk in 2012 brought in the Shield. Okay, he brought in the Shield when he was the champ there. Now they have history. All right, we know that Seth Rollins and CM Punk has had that feud the last couple of months or whatever. And then the Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns, they have the history when Rollins turned on him. So I kind of disagree for him saying that Seth Rollins should not be there. This what makes this match so it's going to be good because it's going to make you think, okay, what's going to happen? And you add Paul Heyman in it, and once you add Paul Heyman, who's a genius, you don't know what you're going to get. You don't know what type of results you're going to get. So I'm sorry, Robert. I don't mean to. You may have your opinion, but I think I disagree on that. Seth Rollins should be in that match.
Yeah, I agree with you. Ultimately, I think he should be in there. I mean, obviously, people see different stories different ways. So, I mean, obviously, respect to Robert's opinion, like you said. But yeah, I mean, with the history between all three of them, and just the history between Punk and Seth and Roman, even separately, them having all three of them together, it just makes sense to have them all together. So, Sped, I'll move to you. You hadn't had a chance to answer. What match are you most excited for? As much as I hate I know the answer to this one.
I'm not even going to say that one because you already know that one. I want to see that triple threat women's world heavyweight championship match. You got three of the baddest females on the planet who can go in the ring. All right, Rhea, Bianca, and freaking Io. All three are going to tear down the house. That might be the match of the night, to be honest with y'all. All right, and then the second match I'm looking for: AJ Styles, Logan Paul. All right, I know what you guys are saying. I know
you
what
had to
you're
take my
saying,
thunder there.
but AJ Styles and Logan Paul, they're going to put on a show. AJ Styles can go with anyone. Logan Paul has proven that he put on a great match with Roman, even though Roman kind of carried him a little bit in that one. But he still does all of his, flashy moves that AJ can make look even better, So I'm looking forward to those two matches, and the one I'm really looking forward to. Yeah,
which is where I thought you were going to go. So I didn't think you were going to say AJ and Logan because that's where I was going to go, and it really has less to do with AJ and Logan, but more what I hope Karrion Kross gets involved in. Well, anybody that's watched the show knows Karrion Kross is one of my favorites, inside and outside of the ring. So I'm hoping he gets somewhere on the card. He even dropped a little bit of a vignette earlier today on his X because he's going to be in Bloodsport tonight or tomorrow night. I think it's tonight. But yeah, part of that he's talking about he may still be around. So I'm looking forward to see how he gets involved in that match really more than anything. So that's what I'm looking forward to. All right, so we will get right into the card, go through each match one by one. Everybody will get their predictions, and then hopefully one of us, other than Sped, will win that beautiful crown over his shoulder. You ready to go, Sped? You got your notebook ready?
Yeah, I got everything ready. It's right here.
Oh, meant to hit that one right there and bring him back. There we go. All right. Starting off with the kickoff match that's going to start off the show, from what I've been told, the World Heavyweight Championship match, the Ring General Gunther versus the Yeet Man Jey Uso. We'll start off with the ultimate one from Chokeslam Wrestling Report. Who do you think will win this match?
This is a little tough because the simple fact, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Jey Uso this is his fourth time fighting for that world title, if I'm correct.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
I mean, I think I'm going. Let me put it this way: I'm going to go with Gunther, and I'm going to tell you why I'm going to go with Gunther because the thing is, you're going to go and make Gunther lose the belt again for the second straight year. He lost the Intercontinental title last year to Sami Zayn, which I felt that wasn't the guy to take the belt away from him. And I think they just Jey Uso, yes, he has the momentum. He has the crowd behind him and the whole nine, but I can't see him being the world champion. Gunther right now, you put that belt on Jey Uso, and I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, you crazy, this and that. But because he has the momentum and the fan base, but I think Gunther should stay as world champion, and because Raw needs that type of world champion. Jey Uso, you put that belt on him. I mean, you put the belt on him I think it was an Intercontinental belt, and he only lasted for 2 weeks. and now you're gonna put the belt on him, the world title, just because he won the Rumble. Nah, I got Gunther on this one.
All right. Yes, sir. Ultimate going with Gunther. Miami, who you got?
It has to be Jay. What was the whole point? It has to be Jay. If you go Gunther, Jay's buried. Let's just be honest. He's buried, and there's no coming back. I don't care. You can do the Rocky Balboa story if you want to. There's no coming back with this. You have to go with Jay. I have Jay Uso winning this match.
All right. Yes, sir. First off, hello, Zach. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. Let us know who you think is going to win in the comments as well. We've seen a bunch of people pick Jay. There's been one or two Gunthers as well. But moving on, I think I know where this one's going to go due to your background. But Brian, who do you think is going to win this match?
All right, look, just so let me say it like this. All right, just because Gunther's my main guy, okay, and he's in the background, I just don't see how Jay doesn't win this, and I'm not happy about it. Like, I do not think it's the right decision. I don't think it's the right business decision, but I think Triple H is listening to the crowd, and I think he hears the crowd. I think he's going that way, and I think he's going to give them that moment to start off Mania. Like, it's kicking off the show. I mean, what better to get the crowd, up and going than to have Jay win his first ever title? Will he have a long reign? Probably not, because I don't think he's going to be that good of a champion. I think Ultimate's right when it comes to that. He just won't be. That will wear off. He just doesn't have the in-ring ability. To me, Gunther he should retain 100%. But I don't think it's going to happen. I'm trying to go for that crown, so I'm not letting my heart get in the way. So I'm going to say
there you go. And I appreciate that. As someone who doesn't want Sped to walk away with it, I appreciate it. Sped, who you got, brother?
Gunther. I said it.
Wow.
I said it the whole time. Said it the whole time. There's no reason Jay should have won the Rumble. If you were given to give it to Cena anyway, all right? Cena didn't need to go to Toronto. He could have won the Rumble, taken that time off, set it up with Cody Rhodes the whole time, and then we could have had the Elimination Chamber for this, But Gunther wins. Jay goes back to being a tag team with his brother, and that's how that goes.
All right. Kind of a divided panel, 2-2. I guess I'll have to break the tie, and man, I don't see how they don't give it to Jay here. I agree with what Brian said, what Stampede said in the comments, what Ultimate said. They're going to go for the moment over the long term here. They can let Gunther get it back at Backlash or something like that right down the road. But they're going to go for the WrestleMania moment for the whole crowd, all however many hundreds of thousands they say is watching to be out there yeeting with Jey Uso. I got to go with Jay on that one.
I don't know if this is the area for rumors that I saw.
Sure.
But I saw a rumor today. It was the first time I seen it, that there's a possibility that Jay could be one of the other guys that's under the Rock, and the whole him eliminating Cena was all planned out, and it was all planned out.
That'd be a very interesting.
I'm not going to take my pick for the other one, but I'm saying if you think about it, if we'll get to it, I'm not giving my pick right now, but if Cena wins, Jay wins, The Rock has both titles. He has control of both men's titles.
That's definitely interesting.
I see. You've seen The Rock hasn't been nowhere, no Raw, no SmackDown. There's no way in the world that The Rock is not going to show up at WrestleMania, and he's not going to be part to any of those world titles. He's going to pop out some way, somehow. He's going to be effective than one of those nights.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely. He's definitely going to show up. I don't know that maybe in this match, but that's definitely an interesting rumor. I've kind of heard rumblings of it. I haven't heard any kind of big time rumors, but that's definitely interesting. All right, moving on to the what's now become my favorite match after our Raw preview last night: the War Raiders versus the New Day for the World Tag Team Champions. We'll start off with you, Miami. Who do you got in this one, and why?
It has to be New Day. The World Raiders, they did pretty good in their title run, but I feel like it has to be New Day. I'm going with New Day.
All right, Brian.
So I am going to say the War Raiders. and I'm going to say it because I think Big E comes back and screws New Day somehow. I think we see Big E.
Okay, the first kind of bold prediction of the night. I hadn't heard that one anywhere. I like that. Sped?
I got the New Day. Yeah, I'm biased to anyone from Atlanta, so I got to take Xavier Woods. Yeah, I got to go to New Day.
Yeah, I mean, it just makes too much sense for the New Day not to win this. I mean, otherwise, why'd you do the whole heel turn with like you did? I mean, I think they may have done it a little too early with how long this build has been. So it's lost kind of a little bit of its steam, but you definitely get that back having them in some kind of underhanded fashion winning these titles and then having a nice long heel title run going on for the next few months. Definitely kind of get some of that, that heat back from their heel turn. So I'm definitely going with the New Day. Ultimate.
See, Mike. Now, Mike.
Go
I
ahead.
don't think. He has a. Yeah, let him pick first, and then I'll talk.
Yeah. Let him have his pick,
Yeah,
and
you're
then you can.
Yeah, I forgot.
Go ahead, Ultimate.
I got War Raiders. I
Nice.
mean, I can't see New Day again with these titles. They I don't know how many times they won those titles.
12.
For them to win it again, even though there's a heel turn, but I mean, I can't see it. I can't see New Day winning the belts. And I'm gonna agree with the gentleman that has the Gunther background. He said you can see Big E getting involved because the way they treated Big E, I could see that happening. I mean, that makes a lot of sense,
Yeah, it definitely does. And you had another point to make, Brian? Was that kind of the point you were going to make? Or
No. My point is that I don't think that the New Day not winning these titles doesn't it ruins their heel turn. I don't think it does, and especially if Big E interferes, I think that only strengthens that feud there. And I don't know how they're going to do it because I don't know if Big E's going to wrestle again, but he may not even have to. He may have somebody that will wrestle them. Like he's going to represent somebody against them. I don't know, but I feel like there'll be a feud there.
Maybe Big E will go and be like in the corner for the War Raiders during this feud. That's as far it could go. We
were talking before the show on our behind the scenes about somebody about to come into WWE. What if Big E brings a Jeff Cobb in to help him out or something like that as like a storyline? That'd be kind of interesting.
I mean,
I could definitely see something like that be cool.
That makes sense because the War Raiders, when they were at Ring of Honor, Jeff Cobb was there. I mean, he was the young Jeff Cobb. Yeah. That makes sense too. Well,
and Big E likes some man meat, and Jeff Cobb definitely provides that.
Yep.
Miami, any last thoughts on this match before we move on?
No.
Miami, can you hear me? All right, he may be having some issues there, so we will move on to the next match. Moving on to the battle between Rey Mysterio and El Grande Americano. We all know this storyline coming through here. Brian, I'll let you go first. Who do you think wins?
I think it's EGA, El Grande Americano. I think he's going to win. I don't see Rey doesn't need it. He doesn't need to win. He's at that stage in his career that he can put over, an El Grande Americano or, whatever you want to call him. But I just know there's going to be shenanigans in this, and it's going to be fun either way. So one way or another, something's going to happen in this one.
All right, Sped.
Okay, this is where we find out Omos is really Grande Americano. Okay, this is the day we find out Omos came over from Japan and he really is Grande Americano because that was really big American. Boom. I know he's not really American, but still, it would work. But no, I got good old GA on this one. Rey, like we talked about yesterday, it might come down to mask versus mask, and that's where Rey wins. And I only think one person in this world should demask Rey at this point in his career, and that's his son.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you for joining us, fans of Pro Wrestling Network. We appreciate you coming in. Yeah, man, this is one of the matches I'm torn on because I really don't want to see Rey lose to Grande Americano at WrestleMania, but it does make a better story if he does, and they do a mask versus mask down the line. So, I mean, I guess just the story side of me is going to say Grande Americano just so they can but he's definitely going to cheat, obviously. There's no way they let him win clean just so they have to have the rematch later down the line for the mask versus mask where Rey can go over at that point. But man, I really don't want to see Ray lose this match. As much as I love Chad Gable, that's about all I got on that. Ultimate one, what you think?
I'm going with Rey Mysterio. I think Rey Mysterio beats him and unmasks him, and to show that it's Chad Gable. I don't see WWE doing a mask versus mask type of thing. I mean, maybe I could be wrong, but I think this is. Didn't he beat him with a headbutt a couple of weeks ago with an object in his mask? Was it him?
He beat. Who was it? It wasn't Ray. It was
Dragon Lee.
Yeah, Dragon Lee.
Yeah. So I think he gets. I think Gran Americano gets unmasked on whatever. I think it's a Saturday or Sunday, one of those days. So so I got Rey Mysterio. I got to go with Ray.
Yep. Miami, if you can hear me, do you have a pick for this match or?
Yeah, it could be Chad Gable's character. I think he will win with the medal in his head because that's what they've been pushing lately.
Yeah, so you think he'll actually use that as the underhanded tactic to win?
Yeah.
So I can definitely see that.
I see them cheating and doing that.
All right, there we go. So Ultimate One, the only voice of reason on the panel, picking Rey Mysterio. As much as I hate that, yeah, should look. If nothing else, it should be a great match because whether it's El Grande Americano, Chad Gable, both him and Rey Mysterio are incredible professional wrestlers. So it's definitely going to be a great match up until the shenanigans part that's going to end it. They should definitely put on a show before then. Could very well be match of night one, in my opinion. Despite what the ending may turn out to be. What's up, Greg? What's up? T coming in from DWDW representing. Appreciate you guys coming in. Moving on to the other really blood feud of the night, Jade versus Naomi. We all know the story. Naomi took Jade out so long ago. Jade came back to get her revenge at Elimination Chamber. I'll go first on this one, so that's kind of the way we're going. I am actually going to go Naomi on this one because I think someone gets involved. I won't say who yet, although you could probably figure that one out. But I do think somebody gets involved and costs Jade the match, giving Naomi the win. Ultimate One, who do you have?
Man, you just messed my head up with that one. I was gonna go with Jade, but then you said someone else could get involved, and the only one I could think of that may get involved, it could be Bailey, or it could be Bianca Belair. So that's a hard one.
So I'll go ahead and spoil it. I think Bianca gets involved.
Yeah. If that happens, it's gonna be Naomi. So I was looking more at Naomi because her change of attitude right now. So I'm going to go with Naomi. So,
all right, Miami, who you got? Miami, can you hear me? All right, go ahead, Brian. We'll come back to Miami.
So yeah, I'm gonna go with Naomi. I've had Naomi pretty much all week. I don't think Jade's winning it. And I think you're right. I don't think that it would be Bianca. I don't know why, but I don't know why she would have a match for the world title in night 2 and then be involved in night 1. And if it is, look, if it does, then that might change prediction for night 2. You know what I mean? Because if she screws somebody, then someone, going to turn around and screw somebody on night 2. So if that happens, then it could. But I'm going to go Naomi just because I think they're going to lean into this heel turn because she's killing it in this heel role right now. And I think they go that route.
All right, Miami, are you back?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Who you got in this match?
I do agree with all of y'all guys. Naomi has to win because of the push they've been giving her. Because I feel like maybe this will build into a stable for her, but I don't know what stable they're going to have because I noticed that on NXT that you have Last Legend and Jakara Jackson going for the tag team titles. So they might have those two young ladies join her. But I I was thinking that they was going to lead to a female bloodline since we're at the end of the male one. So I got Naomi winning.
That's interesting, and I would love to see Lash and Jakara come up with Naomi. I think that would be a great pairing too.
Yep.
Sped, who you got, brother? First off,
I
hold
got-
on, Sped. Before you do, TC had a message for you.
I know I was gonna say no yeet. Okay. I got Naomi, and it's for a different reason. There's one person rumored to come back. She was here before. She left. When is she coming back? She was showing that she was training, getting in ring shape. Nikki Bella helps out Naomi. They're both friends. They both were in the Divas era. They both were into that Evolution era. She's coming back. She helps her out. We've already seen a heel side of Nikki, right? Nikki comes back, helps Naomi beat Jade. That's how I see this. I'm sorry. That's it.
All right.
Interesting.
Hey, no worries. That's definitely interesting. That's an angle I have not thought about on this match yet. So there you go.
Yep.
All right. Moving right along to the Men's U.S. Championship. LA Knight, Jacob Fatu. Not much else needs to be said. Ultimate One, you're up first on this one. What you got, brother?
Now I got my boy Jacob. I mean, he has been killing it since he came into WWE. I mean, LA Knight may give him a good match, but this guy's a beast. I've seen him so many times live, House of Glory, MLW. This guy, he's gonna win that belt. I got him. I'll be surprised if he doesn't win. I'll be very surprised. The momentum he has, especially with that crowd, I think he's gonna start feuding with Solo Sikoa very soon. Why not put the belt on him and have him feud with Solo Sikoa after WrestleMania? You know, I got Fatu.
All right. Definitely strong for there. Miami, who you got? All right. So we'll skip over Miami for a second while he's getting everything done. Brian, who you got?
I've got to go with Fatu, man. He's impressive, and I don't know it unless, and I've seen it in the chat, unless someone comes in. Here's my thing. I've heard that who knows, Solo could come in and screw Fatu, but there's not enough build for that. Like they've shown little bits and pieces, of like chinks in that, relationship, but it hasn't gone far enough for him to screw him at WrestleMania. So I think Fatu wins it, and then he's right. Ultimate's right. I think they feud after, at once he's got the belt.
Yes, sir. Good pick. Miami, you back with us?
Yeah.
You're
Jesus
muted
Christ.
again, Miami.
My bad. I'm getting used to this last time. Yeah, gotta give me a minute.
You're good, brother.
I was thinking that it has to be Jacob.
Ooh.
And Solo maybe attacks him after the match because that will maybe build up for backlash. Because like I said earlier to you guys, you're going to have to start building stories after Mania. Because if you make him interfere against Jacob and cost him the match, it doesn't make sense. You want to have it worth something. Or they could go another way where Jacob wins and they start collecting titles and Solo starts going after if the person who I will pick, if Cody does retain, that's how you can get Solo and Cody to maybe go out the backlash and get Jacob to say, hey, let's get all the titles and maybe you could do something where they did something similar to the Bloodline, but everyone has their single titles. And once Tonga comes back, you go for the tag team titles and you get all of the group to have all the gold like how you did with the original Bloodline. And that's how they can be back on top. But I feel like after Jacob wins, they're going to do Solo turn after this match because they've been teasing it for quite some time.
Yep. And Brian, you already gave your answer. Sped, who you got?
I'm gonna have to go Fatu. I was gonna go LA Knight, but I'm going Fatu. I don't know. It just depends on if Solo's going after Randy. That's the part that I don't know. Is it going to be Nick Aldis? Is it going to be Solo? Is it going to be who? Against Randy. So that's where I'm just going to go with Fatu on this one.
I've thought about the whole Solo Sikoa angle where he could interfere because they have been teasing that for a few weeks now. But I don't think Triple H is going to pull the trigger on it just yet. I do think Fatu wins. wins the U.S. Championship, and that's where you really start to see the divide between Fatu and Solo, where Solo, because this whole time he's been, this is for you, Jacob. I love you, Jacob. Kind of taking that position. I think once he actually sees somebody else with a belt, it's going to really hit home with Solo, and that's really what's going to push him over the edge to really kind of have a more vicious turn on Jacob. And then we get that match. Knowing how the Bloodline story goes, probably at SummerSlam. It probably should happen sooner than that, but the way they drag out the Bloodline, it'd probably end up happening at SummerSlam, Fatu and Solo for the U.S. title or something.
Hey, here's an interesting thing I saw in the chat. Well, people are forgetting that Hikuleo signed with WWE a long time ago, like a couple of months ago, and he hasn't been used. So I think after WrestleMania, Solo Sikoa probably turns up and he'll send that big man to attack Jacob Fatu. I can see that he choke slamming him or something like that. I could see something coming up, and that's how the whole Sikoa and Fatu feud starts.
And that would be an interesting position for Jacob to be in, having to take on the entire Bloodline: Tama Tonga, Tongaloa, Hikuleo, Solo, and everybody against Jacob, and him having to kind of go up against, showing how much of a monster he really is. That'd be really cool. A really cool position for him to be in. So yeah, definitely great positions there. I think this is gonna be a great match because I don't think Jacob Fatu puts on bad matches, and LA Knight is really good as well. I'm definitely going for Jacob. Next up, we have the Women's World Championship match: Charlotte Flair, Tiffany Stratton. The Battle of the Barbies, as I like to call it. Miami, you're up first on this one if you can hear me. Who you got? All right. Brian, go ahead. We'll come back to Miami.
Man, I've got to go first on this one, man. I've gone back and forth on this damn match because, like, Charlotte, she don't like putting nobody over, and I it's been that way her entire career, and I just cannot see her doing it here. But I also could see this being like a changing of the guard, like, out with the old, in with the new, and I could see Tiffany winning it. So for my pick, it's a little tough. I think I'm going to go with Tiffy. I think I'm going to go with Tiffy time.
All right. Miami, you here?
Yeah, I have it has to be Charlotte in this one because what's the whole point? She's already said she wanted to beat her father's record. So I feel like even if Tiffany wins, it's kind of passing the torch, but she already did it with Rhea Ripley. So Rhea Ripley already won the won WrestleMania over Charlotte. I think Charlotte doesn't take another loss because I think the last time she took a loss was at 39, and I think she missed 40. So we're at 41. I don't see her losing again, but I don't see her holding it for a time because the way I don't think that leg is fully healed or she's fully confident yet on that leg. So we'll have to see. So right now I have Charlotte winning this match.
Yes, sir. Sped, you're up.
I'm going Tiffany. I've been saying it. I think it's passing the torch. Plus, the Charlotte used to get the major pushes. I don't think she gets this one this time. I don't think she gets what she wants this time, and that's beautiful in my book.
I hate this match so much because I've been going back and forth on it too. And Sped, very well that I'm a huge Tiffany Stratton fan. I think she is the future of the women's division in WWE right now. But I think it's a better story if Charlotte wins here and then Tiffany takes it back at a SummerSlam. They have a 3-match feud. This is the first one where Tiffany has to come up and really take over for her, and that's where the passing of the torch will actually happen, is going to be at WrestleMania. But yeah, I think Charlotte wins this one. Tiffany will win another match kind of down the line to either get a title shot or, maybe Charlotte will DQ or she gets a win. And then she'll be able to come back at SummerSlam and get the final win the feud, and actually have the passing of the torch there. Ultimate one, what you got?
Well, I have Tiffany, and I'm gonna tell you why. That a couple of weeks ago they had that promo where they went out of line, and Charlotte got reprimanded for it. So I have a feeling that probably Charlotte was planned to win the belt again, but after that whole debacle, I think it's going to be Tiffany because I mean they're probably going to punish Charlotte for that. And I mean, and then by the way, to me it's like, okay, you can't give her the belt. She just came back, and you're already going to give her the belt. This is the constant thing they do when she comes back. They give her the belt. But I go in with Tiffany Stratton on this one, all because of the whole promo deal. They kind of getting out of line, and they pretty much blamed it on Charlotte because she's the elder statement on that. But so yeah, I'm going with Tiffany.
Real quick, jump on what you said, Ultimate. You do you remember when Charlotte and Becky were supposed to swap titles, right?
Yes,
and she just chucked that title on the mat.
That's what it reminded me of when I saw that.
That's what I was thinking too. It was like she really didn't learn her lesson from that one, did she? Because I remember H got mad about that. He's like, "You don't do that." Yeah, like he was angry about that. So I agree with you. I really do think she might be losing this because of that. She tried to go off.
Yeah, I think they are going to punish her on that, and maybe she'll get another title shot. Like this guy said, maybe it's SummerSlam she'll get the title shot. Maybe she'll get the belt then. But right now, I don't see her winning that. If she wins, I'm like, because Tiffany right now is like they said, she is the future of the business. And she just got the belt a couple of months ago. So why not leave it on her, and then maybe down the line, do it that way.
No, I feel what you're saying. Yeah, she's white hot right now too. Like you stick with what's really hot right now. People eating her up.
Yeah, and to answer your question, Ariel, Miami he's been kind of in and out. He's been having some technical difficulties. We will continue going on. We will bring him back in as soon as he gets back in, so he can make the rest of his predictions. If not, I will get with him off air and get his predictions online so we can get them posted so he can still be eligible for the crown. Just because I don't want him to get messed up just from technical difficulties. But we will continue on with the show. Moving on to the next match. If you can hear me, Miami, hopefully you get those sorted out and we get to see you again here pretty soon. Next match is the main event of night one, the triple threat that we've been talking about pretty much for weeks now. Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, CM Punk, the battle of custody of Paul Heyman, kind of. Brian, you're up first on this one. Who you got?
Oh, you would.
You went first on the last one. Well, no, you went first last time, so I'll let Sped go first because you went first on the last one.
Right. Sounds good.
Man, I don't know. This one's rough, right? Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, TC. This one's rough. But, I mean, after what Roman said today, and I still don't think any of these guys have more than 3 or 5 years left in the tank. Rollins' back is screwed. Roman wants to go somewhere else. Punk's getting old. It's just, what is this? And you're right. It's the battle of Paul Heyman, too. So who really going to get it? Are we going to see Brock Lesnar come back and enter this match?
Oh, no way.
No, I know. I'm just making a joke here.
It'd be cool if he didn't have all that. If he didn't have all that other stuff, he would be a part of this. If he didn't have that, he would 100% be a part of this.
I would love to see. And I've been saying this all week. This match is missing one ingredient, and it's Jon Moxley to me. All right, because you spoke on it earlier, Ultimate, how this was, years in the making. He brought him in and everything. Moxley should be in this. This would make it a hell of a lot better, in my opinion. But I am going to go with Seth Rollins. TC, thank you for making my life easier. Going with Seth Rollins. I don't know why. I'm just going with TC's right here.
So I've went back and forth on this one too, and with everything going on, and not to put too much into what I think is going to happen later on tomorrow night, because obviously this is last match of night one. I think what happens here will directly affect what happens going down the line. Yep. But I think CM Punk actually take this. I think Paul Heyman ends up walking away with CM Punk, the old-time friends reunited, and I think we try to go on another summer of Punk going into the future to kind of cap off his year after his first WrestleMania main event. So I think CM Punk takes this one.
All right, yeah.
Ultimate one, who you got?
Nah, I have Seth Rollins. Like when we were off cam earlier, I think the whole promo that Seth did and talked about how, certain things that, Roman Reigns wasn't there for for Paul Heyman, CM Punk, whatever he did. So to me, it makes a lot of sense for Seth to win. And listen, this could be something that might spike Seth Rollins' career even higher if Paul Heyman ends up, turning CM Punk and joining Seth Rollins, and maybe he'll have another title run. That'll be something to look forward to, because everything Paul Heyman touches is gold. You can't go wrong.
Except for Curtis Axel. Except for Curtis Axel, folks. Not even Paul Heyman can make that gold. Right?
So I'm going with Seth.
And Ryback too. You can't forget about him, because Paul
Heyman
too?
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot about Ryback.
in his defense, though, we all try to forget about Ryback.
Thank you.
Miami, you're up on this one. You gave an answer for Tiffany and Charlotte, all right?
Yeah, I did.
You went Tiffany, right?
I went
I went Flair.
Oh, we went. Okay. I just wanted to make sure. So, who do you have in the triple threat here?
This is right here probably maybe one of the hardest matches to pick from. But to be honest with you, I would not be surprised if Seth pins Punk and leads with Paul, and you lead to a feud where it's going to be Punk versus Seth at Backlash, because Seth got over on Punk and Roman, because one thing that they keep playing and it caught my eye was the heist of the century. And I said, why do they keep playing this? Because Heyman was in that, but Heyman wasn't a Roman guy. Who was he? He was a Brock Lesnar guy at the time. So they might be playing this where he's saying, and another thing too, Seth Rollins said was, we're fighting for the soul of the company. That was a teaser and a clue. I don't think right away Seth Rollins would join The Rock. I think quite some time they'll start telling a story with why Paul Heyman and him joined sides, and then later on down the line, close to SummerSlam, that's when he will join The Rock, because that's how you get to Roman versus Rock, because Roman Reigns hates Seth Rollins so much, and for him to be joining The Rock and saying, this is my brother, and join me in this and this and that, Roman will feel like that's a betrayal to not just him, but the family, and that's how you get to that feud. So I have Seth Rollins pinning CM Punk, and Roman will not get pinned. That's how you protect Roman, with him being undefeated on night one, and also him building the story for if he does leave, he can come back to something, and there goes your story.
All right. Yes, sir. Brian, thought you had to go first. You get to go last. Bring up the rear. Who you got?
What's sad is going last is almost worse, because I think I flip-flopped my pick at least 3 times listening to all of you. And because I flipped it before this show multiple times. And look, my heart wants CM Punk to win this. It just does. I love all 3 of these guys. I do think Seth Rollins is the third guy with The Rock and them, but I do not think that affects this match. For whatever reason, I don't think it does. So I think CM Punk is going to win this, and I think it's because I think you said it, Big Mike, that the future of what they're going to be building towards. I just think CM Punk's going to win. I think he pins Seth because, like you said, Roman's not getting pinned.
All right. Yes, sir. That does conclude night one. Hopefully, night one turns out to be a great night of wrestling, and we will roll into Sunday, Easter Sunday, which is night 2, kicking off with the first match of night 2, the Women's World Heavyweight Championship, the triple threat, Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, Bianca Belair. Sped, you're up first on this one, brother. Who you got?
It's you. You're up first. I just went.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, dang it. I was hoping you wouldn't remember that.
Hey, listen, man. I'm circling.
Damn, you paying attention
right
now.
Yeah, last night was all about Alabama. Wait, how did Seth get to Alabama?
Yeah. So, look, I said earlier that Bianca gets involved in the Jade and Naomi match and costs Jade the match there. I think we're going to build to a Bianca and Jade match probably at SummerSlam. I think that starts here. After the interference on the first night, I think Jade comes out and interferes and takes Bianca out the same way she took Naomi out of Elimination Chamber. And then after probably a good 5-10 minute part of the match, she gets to do some of her highlights, some of her stuff. But you need to protect her because she's still undefeated at WrestleMania, and you don't want her to take the pin here. So she technically keeps that streak alive where she's never been pinned at WrestleMania. And then ultimately you have Rhea Ripley and Io Sky end up kind of one-on-one. And I just think the story's there that Rhea Ripley finally overcomes that demon of her past and defeats Io Sky for the first time ever, pins Io Sky for the championship, and then they go on to have a little bit more of a feud down the line where they can go back and forth with each other. But I think Rhea Ripley ultimately wins this match. Ultimate one, who you got?
Listen, I'm a big Rhea Ripley fan. I love Rhea Ripley. But I think this time, the fact that they took the belt away from Rhea Ripley kind of fast and gave it to Io Sky, I think Io Sky is the underdog here. They're not giving her the respect. I think Io Sky stays with the belt. As far as Bianca Belair not getting pinned, I could see Jay Cargill getting involved in that match, costing Bianca Belair. I've been thinking about that since she won the Elimination Chamber. But at this match, I have Io Sky retaining and keeping the belt.
All right, Miami, you here? You got?
Man, this match can go so many different ways. Only thing I have a pushback on Io Sky. She's a great competitor. I think we talked about this backstage where she's good in the ring. It's just the language barrier. The way they've been promoting Bianca, she's been on mostly a lot of shows. And they don't do that just by design. Bianca's undefeated streak, I don't know if it's in state because I think if she doesn't take the pin, then she's okay. The thing about this, you put the title back on Rhea Ripley. I mean, we're right back at where we started at. People are going to start complaining and say she went through the whole roster. There's no one there to beat her. Especially now we're hearing that Becky Lynch is now saying that she's not coming back. So who are you going to, if you put the title on Rhea, who are you going to have her go against? I say put it on a brand new face. They did, and I do agree with Ultimate. They did take the title off of Rhea a little too fast. But I think this is the way they wanted to get Io into this match because there were fans saying Io deserves a chance to be at WrestleMania. And I think she's going to do well. I just think Bianca is going to win. I think Naomi is going to help Bianca win this match. I think that's going to help her win. And that's how we get to the Jade thing because you're going to have to tie that story too after WrestleMania with her and Jade too. So that's where we're going to get to that. So I have Bianca Belair winning this match, winning the title, and having a new champion for Raw.
Okay. Yes, sir. Brian, who you got?
I've got Io retaining. I think that they're setting it up that way as, you know, basically that I think Bianca and Rhea essentially take each other out for the most part throughout the match, you know, and somewhere down the line, you know, in the middle of that match, she'll end up taking it. But I mean, I could see any of these three women, you know, winning it. I mean, you brought up Bianca's streak. A lot of people think she's going to win just simply because they want to keep that streak going, right, of her winning. Not just not taking a pin, but actually winning it, you know, Mania. So I could see them building her as like a Mrs. WrestleMania kind of character, you know, going forward. So, but I think you're right. I think I actually didn't even think about the fact that Jade could come down and interfere, and that kind of takes her out of the match. Therefore, she didn't really lose if she's not getting pinned, you know, kind of thing. I see that. I saw the comments too about Dakota Kai. That's pretty interesting because we haven't seen her on TV in a little while. And there's a chance that she could turn. There's also a chance she could help her retain. So, I mean,
which Dakota's got that history. If you look at the history of Dakota Kai, she did it to Raquel. Yeah. She did it to Tegan Knox when they were in NXT. I mean, she's got that history.
Yeah, she does, and that could spark up a nice feud between the two of them after Mania. So, but I'm gonna say you.
All right, Sped, you get to go last. What you got?
I'm going Rhea, and this is the reason why for this one. I see Dakota. I see you guys talking about. There's a lot of people not talking about Asuka and Kairi coming back here soon. You know, former Damage Control members as well, who also strive to be the best. All right. And, we've always talked about Asuka versus Io would be one hell of a match. Kyrie versus Io could be one hell of a match. I mean, they're like sisters almost, when it came down to it. So I think what you said is right, Big Mike. This is the time where Rhea finally overcomes a hurdle. But to protect and give a little asterisk and set it up for a different time, for a rematch, Io gets beat up and taken out after Jade or whoever tries to take out Bianca.
Okay. Yeah, it's definitely as many twists and turns as there were for the booking of this match and for the lead up to this match. I could definitely see a lot of twists and turns during the match, just because we took the worst possible way to get here. So it's like you have to go to the market down the corner and you end up going the opposite direction and going 10 miles out of the way just to get to where you needed to go, which was a block. So yeah, it'll still be a great match. All three are great wrestlers, but it's definitely divisive. We all picked a lot of different winners. Moving on to the other women's match that night, the women's tag team the champions Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez up against the women's intercontinental champion that doesn't have a singles match at WrestleMania, and Bayley. Ultimate, you're up first on this one. Who you got?
Well, it's funny that this match was brought up because I was telling somebody that I see Bayley turning the Intercontinental champ because, first of all, what's her name again? The Intercontinental champ?
Lyra
Valkyria.
Right? Yeah, okay.
The bird lady.
The fact that I don't see these girls winning this match because, correct me if I'm wrong, the last time you ever saw anybody with two titles at the same time in WWE was probably that I remember. It was 2004 when Benoit and Edge had the tag team champion and Benoit was the world champion at that time. So I don't see this happen. I can see probably Bayley turning in on that and turning on her and then losing that match. So then Valkyria and Bayley continue their feud for the belt. So I got Liv Morgan and Raquel winning that.
So Bayley actually was a double champ in WWE a couple years ago with the tag team belts as well. I think she was world champion and tag champ a couple years ago. So they have done that. But yeah, so that's been there in the past. But we'll get to my pick in a minute. I won't keep going so I don't ruin anything. Miami, who you got?
I'm not gonna lie. This has to stay Liv Morgan and Raquel because what's the reason of and no disrespect to Liv Valkyria, but you have your IC women's champion in this match. Yep. And you told us fans that these titles matter. And it doesn't seem that way because if that was the case, once you have these two titles that are still brand new on the grandest stage being presented in front of maybe going to still be millions on TV. So this is right here. It's not a good sign for the women. Let's just go ahead and get that out the way because I think we can say that. I feel like Liv and Raquel has to retain. I say whoever wins in NXT will beat them. And that's how I feel like it's going to be Jakara Jackson and Last Legend because I think they will be the ones that will join up with Naomi, and that's how you can get Naomi come back and forth from SmackDown to Raw to continue her story with Bianca and also Jay. If that's the smart way of booking this, that's the only way. I feel like if you keep the titles on Liv and Raquel, I feel like you can get a good match out of Jakara Jackson and Last Legend because you have a powerhouse and you have another small young lady against another powerhouse and another small young lady. So I feel like they will do good at Backlash. So Liv and Raquel have to retain. It wouldn't make no sense to put another title on Valkyria when she's already getting criticized by not defending the title that she has now. So that's just my take on it.
Yes, sir. And I don't think I said hello to Lena. Thank you, Lena, for coming in. Thank you for subbing to the channel. It's just sub tonight. We appreciate you coming in and joining us, and thank you for all the comments. Brian, who you got in this match?
Yeah, I've got Liv and Raquel. I feel like the only reason that you have the Intercontinental Champion in this match is for the turn. Is for the one thing that Lyra hasn't had, because Lyra's good. If you watched NXT, Lyra's good. She's good in ring. She's not bad on the mic when they let her have a chance. I think that they've booked her poorly. She hasn't had a feud. She hasn't had a real heel, and this is going to set her up for her first real good feud because Bayley is a great heel. Like she's like has no substance as a face. She's just there, you know. But as a heel, she's fantastic, and I think her and Lyra will be able to actually, you know, have a really good feud. And I think that's the only reason why this match is happening.
Yes, sir. Sped, who you got?
I would rather have Natalia and Maxine Dupree in this situation. Okay, instead of having the IC title being not defended, women's IC title or the United States Women's Championship defended at all on the grandest stage of them all. Okay, so again, I'd rather have Natalia in this matchup.
And for those who don't, for those who have not watched our program for a while, Sped, that is not an endorsement for Natalia. Sped is not a very big Natalia fan. That's why he's using her as the example, which just tells you how little he wants to see that Lyra and Bayley in the match. So for those of you who are new, that's not a ringing endorsement in their favor.
No, and I still don't understand how I got followed by her after that. It's like she was watching and it's like follow. Yeah,
everybody makes mistakes. I think she meant to hit the block button and hit the follow by accident.
Yeah, right.
Attention. That's how they put them too close together. Sometimes it's hard.
Sometimes, man, it was hilarious. I sent you that text. I was like, dude, I just went off about her the night before, and then she's followed you. I was like, what's going on here? Am I being like somebody going on? But yeah, no, I got Liv and Raquel winning this. Sadly, I got Liv and Raquel.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to add too much to it. Liv and Raquel retain. I hope we see Lyra and Bayley go against each other again. Bayley let her turn heel, let her give a good feud, like Brian said. So I won't add too much to it. It's Liv and Raquel. There can't be anybody else. Moving on to Logan Paul versus AJ Styles. Miami, you're up first on this one. Who you got, man?
I was discussing this match earlier. This is going to probably be a pretty good match, guys. Let's just give credit to both of these guys. I feel like in ring, Logan doesn't get the respect that he deserves because he saved Rey Mysterio's life twice. Let's just get that out the way. So let's give this guy his flowers. I know people don't like him, but he did save Rey Mysterio twice when he was doing one of those flips. I think it was off the barricade, and Rey Mysterio almost landed on his head and he saved him. I feel like this is a safe match for AJ Styles. This can also prove that AJ Styles has a lot in the tank. I hope he's not leaving. I know he's getting close to the end of his contract, but this can show that AJ Styles, it can be a good babyface to face a heel John Cena. The roles have reversed. Remember, AJ Styles was the heel last time, and John Cena was the face. I have AJ Styles winning because Logan doesn't have nothing to lose in this match. But I feel like this will be a great match between these two. I love Logan Paul's new finisher. If he does hit it, he will win because I do love the finisher. But I still have AJ Styles winning because he's the phenomenal one. So AJ Styles for the win.
All right, Brian, who you got?
So this is one of my matches that I'm actually for the in-ring wrestling that I'm ready for. Like I'm ready to see this match. Like AJ Styles is one of the best in-ring performers there is out there, and Logan Paul is fantastic in the ring. I give him all the respect in the world for what he does. If this was AJ Styles' last match and he said this was his last match, I would take AJ Styles in this. But it will not be his last match at WrestleMania. I think he still wrestles next year, like at WrestleMania. So I'm taking Logan Paul in this one, but I think that AJ is the type of guy that AJ is. I think he's going to work this match, work the hell out of this match, and it could be match of the night. in night 2, as far as in ring, and it'll be a clean finish. As much as I hate to say it, I think they give Logan Paul a clean finish win.
Oh, I didn't see that coming. Sped, who you got?
Georgia boy, AJ Styles. That's all I gotta say. I will not pick YouTuber Logan Paul in that fake ass hand punch of his. Yeah, I've just never been a boxer, whatever.
So I mentioned behind the scenes that I want to see more of Karrion Kross, and he's been intertwined in this feud the entire time. And the way Karrion Kross's character works is he's one of the most psychological characters that WWE has. And what would mess with AJ Styles the most? I think Karrion Kross gets involved. I think he actually cheats to help AJ win the match. Just because I think that would mess with AJ's mind the most, and we get a feud coming out of WrestleMania of AJ Styles and Karrion Kross, and Karrion Kross playing that devil character that he's been playing on, the devil on your shoulder, the devil you know, as he says, as opposed to anybody you don't, and he just kind of creeps in, and I would actually love to see like a tag team between AJ and Karrion once he starts kind of going that heelish character, but I think it starts here at WrestleMania where Karrion Kross actually cheats and helps AJ Styles beat Logan Paul.
Man, that's
Ultimate.
I can see that.
I got Logan Paul for the simple fact I feel that they're still trying to, not they're trying, but they are pushing Logan Paul to go to the next level. And what a better way for him to have to be a former world champion, I think a 2-time world champion at that.
Yep.
AJ Styles. I mean, AJ right now is toward the end of his career, and a better way to make sure that the next generation, even though I'm not crazy about Logan Paul, he is good in that ring, but better way for him for AJ Styles to push the next generation up by letting Paul get this match. I mean, the Karrion Kross situation, I mean, like I said, I haven't really followed. I saw it this past Monday. Does he get involved? Maybe, but I think Logan Paul wins because of maybe the outside interference. But I think it's more AJ giving that push, to Paul Logan. I mean, and like I said, AJ's already toward the end of his career, so so I see Logan Paul.
All right, and that's everybody, right? Sped. Miami went first, didn't he?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's what I thought. All right, moving on to the next match. The 4-way Intercontinental title, Braun Breaker, Penta, Finn, and Dominic Mysterio. Brian, you're up first on this one. Who you got?
Sped's gonna love me, but Dirty Dom's taking this. Dirty Dom's taking this title. And dude, it's gonna be a finish. There's no way I can predict this right, but it's gonna be a finish where Braun spears Dom, and you think that Dom's out of the match. He spears him. Then, Penta hits the Mexican Destroyer on Braun. Then somehow Finn comes off the top ropes and hits, Penta with something. And the Dom comes back in and steals the victory and wins the title. It's going to be something like that. Something crazy. But yeah, it's time for Dirty Dom to win. I mean, he's one of the greatest heels in the game, whether people hate him or love him. They hate him because he's so damn good at being hated. He's a great heel, and he deserves that title. And Braun needs to go on to bigger things.
Let me go last.
Yep.
Let me go
I
last.
was. Oh, trust me. I was
Okay.
skipping your ass. Trust me. I was skipping you. God, this is going to suck so bad.
Hey, listen.
I'm going to agree with Brian and say that Dominic Mysterio wins the IC title.
That's what I thought.
His dumbass cheats to do it, obviously, but it just hurts coming out of my mouth. Dominic Mysterio wins. Dominic Mysterio wins the IC title, and that's all I'm going to say. Ultimate, you're up next. Who you got, brother?
Yeah, I mean this match had me thinking a lot because I was like, okay, well, Braun Breaker and the Braun Breaker stays with that belt. I mean, does he really need the belt already? He done very well with that Intercontinental belt. They can move him to the world title picture. Penta, they're not giving him that belt right away. He just got there. I could see Dominic winning. I don't see Finn Balor winning it. And if let's say Dominic doesn't win, maybe we could get out probably a Judgment Day breakup out of that. But I don't see Penta winning. I don't see Finn winning. So I got as hard as it is for me to say, I think Dominic's going to win the Intercontinental bout. He's winning it.
Trust me, I understand Ultimate completely. Maybe. Who do you got? Please say somebody other than Dom, because I'd hate for this to be a full sweep. But Miami, who you got winning the match?
Oh man, babe, Mike, I'm sorry to tell you, man.
Oh,
Dang, I guess I'm Dominic Mysterio in this situation because I have Dominic winning because it makes sense because they've been teasing this breakup quite some time. I think someone just said it. And this is how you get it. And I think someone said it's too early for Penta. I think if you put it on Dominic, you can do Penta versus Dominic at Backlash. Like I say, this can be another story where you can lead up to your next PLE. Dominic has to win. Also, this is a way you can get Finn away from Judgment Day. I say put him on SmackDown and start getting him a main roster run over there. Not go straight into the Demon yet. Give him back that build that we believe in, that we know he has. So it has to be Dominic. And once this strap is off of Braun Breaker, we already know he's going straight to the main card title run. That's your next guy, your next young guy to lead the charge for this future. Go ahead, build this guy, and just make someone, whoever he wins the title off of, hopefully it's a vet, to pass that torch to him. I feel like he can be the guy. Him and Jacob Fatu. That's just my take.
Yep. And just to be fair, Sped, who you got?
Everybody knows Dom, but this is how it happens. You guys are saying Finn. He pins Finn. I don't see that. I see what Mike said a couple weeks ago. Big Mike said Finn does most of the work. All right, Dom. He's been out laying on the ground on the outside for a hot minute. Finn does most of the work. You see Dom climb the top. That's the frog. Well, he throws out Finn first, then climbs at the top. Frog splash. 1, 2, 3. New champ.
Mhm.
And then I'm buying the title and just wearing it just for you, with his side plates on it, just for you.
Which for everybody watching, I promise I don't hate Dominic Mysterio. That statement right there, that I have to deal with him every week now if Dominic wins, that's the only reason I don't want Dominic to win. I like Dominic as a character. I think he's a really good heel. So I promise the disdain in my voice doesn't come from Dominic Mysterio as much as it comes from my co-host and his giant man crush on Dominic Mysterio that I have to hear about every week.
Listen, when he wins, I'm coming down to Alabama and I'm pulling Ricky Bobby. I'm going, whoa, right in your ear. Right?
I have no doubt. And real quick, just to answer a question, Sped, turn back to day one picks. Did anybody pick? I think somebody picked the War Raiders, right? Because yes, Herb, you did miss the New Day match. We had two pick the War Raiders, Ultimate and Brian, which, his next one is you got to know who to hate. So good job, Brian. You had the Oklahoma thing already. Now you get the fact that you picked against the New Day. So you and Herb are really feuding now. So that's always good.
Nice. New Day.
And welcome in, B. Welcome in. We appreciate you joining the show. Moving on to another blood feud, Damian Priest, Drew McIntyre. Just Sped, you're up first on this one.
Oh God, I'm going McIntyre on this one. I'm going Drew. I just look. I'm not into this whole. He's a good. He was a good champion, and everything. Priest was, but to get back at everything, I think they're gonna let happen last year with the cash in and stuff like that. This is just like, hey,
Where was it at?
here's your win. From this is what happened last year. We're just gonna give it to you.
Yes, sir. So I'm gonna go Drew too. I think he deserves the win more, especially after last year's WrestleMania. It'll kind of get that revenge on Damian for coming in and cashing in. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Drew on this one. Ultimate, who you got?
I got Drew. Well, that's the same thing. I'm agreeing with what you guys are saying. Last year, you saw Priest beat him for the world title. So this year is gonna, even though there's no belt involved, I got McIntyre winning it, and it may be clean too. So I could see him beating Damian Priest.
Yeah, and I will say this is probably one of the few clean matches I can see going on the entire weekend, to be completely honest. So, and next up, making his on-camera debut, we finally get the one and only Miami the Great. Who you got winning this match, brother? Finally, good to finally see you.
Look, I'm old. Technology is hell these days. I'm doing
Look,
it.
next time, just go on the Google, go on the interwebs, and look up how to. Everything's okay.
I was like,
Call it the Twitter.
You on this thing? I was calling me. I was like, oh my god. I was like, this laptop is killing me right now. It's really showing my age. So please forgive me. I'm just learning. But it has to be Drew McIntyre. One, The Rock. I mean, hell, The Rock just told y'all what's gonna happen. One, The Rock just endorsed Drew McIntyre for his new clothing line.
Yep.
That already was a stamp. We seen Drew in the back with The Rock the day of the Netflix special. I think once we get from this, I think Drew McIntyre will get a big push. Would it be for a title shot? I don't think so yet. I'm thinking that Drew would join The Rock this same night. I think this is night 2. I think this is where we get our second guy. And then we get Seth Rollins later on. That's what I was telling y'all backstage. So this is where I think we get Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre will win, and then he will interfere in John Cena's match.
Yep, and you said he endorsed him earlier, like at Netflix. If you think back even further, when Drew signed his new deal, The Rock actually got him that Claymore sword, the personalized one, when he signed his new deal back last year as well. So yeah, that actually goes back a pretty good ways. Brian, what'd you think?
Man, everybody said quite a bit. I mean, there's no way that I can go Damian on this. It's got to be Drew. I mean, this although it may be the cleanest match out of the entire card, it's one of the most predictable in my opinion too. Like I just do not see it. It would shock me. Like be one of the biggest shocks out of all the match if Priest wins this. So yeah, no, I'm gonna go with Drew. That's all I gotta say about it.
Yeah. No problem. Next up. You did start that one, right, Sped?
No, I don't know who started that one, honestly. I started writing down names.
Have you picked?
Yes, I picked Drew.
Okay, then you started it because I know I've picked. That's why I asked you.
Oh, I was like, I don't remember who
Come
started
on, man. Well, welcome to the show, Sped. We appreciate you joining us.
2 hours in now.
Moving on to the main event of night 2. Why do I have to go first on this one? But it is Cody Rhodes versus John Cena for the World Heavyweight Champion. I acted like it was going to be hard. It's really not. John Cena's got to win. I don't see any way they let Cody have it after the heel turn. In my opinion, the second biggest heel turn in wrestling history. And I don't think there's any way that Cody wins. So that's all I'll say on that. Let you guys talk about it a little bit. Ultimate one, who you got?
I got Cena winning this again. Like you said, this makes no sense of them turning Cena heel, and probably one of the biggest heel turn besides the Hulk Hogan joint. You know, I can't see Cody holding on to his belt. I don't. I mean, I see The Rock getting involved somewhere and Travis Scott getting involved in that match, but Cena's walking out and he's breaking Flair's record.
Miami?
Man, they gotta do Cena. But the only thing about this is, see, we don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow. I think tomorrow will really tell us what's gonna happen because I know Cena's supposed to be making an appearance. And like Ultimate just said, this is one of the biggest turns since Hogan. But they haven't done what they should have been done with it. I don't think Cena has done enough when it comes to the heel turn. We haven't seen enough. We haven't seen just that. Now, if he goes into this match and be like a different John Cena we never seen before, where he just beats Cody like we never seen him beat, because we know Cena as being more of a a wrestler, like, you know, doing a couple moves and this and that. But if he goes in here like a Brock Lesnar or a just a guy just beating Cody down, then that's a different story, because sometimes you can tell a story with just doing it in a match too. So maybe that's what Cena's going to do. He has to win 17. What was the whole point? You're going to have him on Backlash. You had him and Randy on the poster. They're promoting Randy heavy. If you have Cena win this, you have Cena, a heel Cena, which I told you guys in the back, versus a tweener Randy. I think everyone wanted to see that for Mania, but we will get that for Backlash. This is where Drew comes in. He beats the last guy when we have all the shenanigans out the way. He claymores Cody Rhodes, and 1, 2, 3. That's how we get the next guy. Rock throws up the one more hand. Does a slice throat, and we already know who's going to be the last guy. It's going to be Seth and Paul Heyman. That's going to complete the whole team of what they're going to go to. That's how we're going to end it. Something going to happen for SummerSlam. That's how we get Seth Rollins. I have John Cena winning number 17. I don't care what Flair said. He can't even make it to WrestleMania. Talking about he won't let Cody win. That's not the case. Sorry, old man. You can't make it. We got Cody. We got John Cena winning.
Yep. So, and before you make your pick, I'm showing you the comments. I figured I'd let you respond to this before you make your official pick for this match. But yeah,
come on, Herb. Come on, Herb. Look, listen. I didn't know who you picked. Okay, I just went off of what I think's going to happen. Sorry, but yeah, no, you're not going to change my mind just because I'm dead to you now. So it's fine. Whatever. We can feud.
Which if you watch nothing else of our preview show last night with Herb and Raj, go back and watch. And I'll clip it and put it up as a short sometime this weekend. Go back and watch the expert analysis of Herb and Raj on the New Day versus the War Raiders match. Peak wrestling, just breakdown of how the match will go. Very, very succinct. One of the reasons I picked the New Day tonight was their great analysis of how that match will go. And yeah, so Sped, who you got? I'm sorry, Ryan, who you winning this match?
Herb. By the way, Herb, listen, we can feud all the way up until what is it, November 15th? Because I'll be in Tuscaloosa, and then we can hash it out then. Okay. Anyway.
Oh heck yeah! I'll have to make it over there too.
Yeah. I'll be down there for that game. Anyway, I got Cena winning. I mean, everybody said it. I feel like you can't not let him break this record. My big question was, does Ric Flair try to get involved? I mean, he's old. They're not going to let him in the ring, I don't think. But, like, is he ringside or something, you know? Does he take a slap from Cena or something? I mean, you know, something. I don't know. Because
as long as these WrestleMania ramps are, he's not making it to the ring. He'll die halfway out trying to run out that far.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe he's got to be in the stands, like in the front row or something. Watch. I don't know. But, no, Cena's got to win this, in my opinion. And I think that they're building because they did the whole like he's going to take the belt and go home. He's going to take it away. He's going to ruin wrestling, and I think they're going to build towards Punk and Cena. And because it was the reverse back when Punk was like, "I'm taking the belt with me. I'm leaving," and Cena was the savior. He was the guy that basically defeated Punk. So I think it's flipped, and I think we build towards that. That probably at SummerSlam.
Sped?
I've said it since Cena said this is it. Cena wins 17 here. Okay. He keeps it, and Randy Orton takes it from him before he walks out that door. All right. The only man that should have any rights besides Punk, I agree with that, to take that title from Cena would be Randy Orton in this situation. So John Cena wins this after all those shenanigans and everything that's going to happen. We all know there's going to be like a 30-minute block of shenanigans and possibly a 10-minute entrance from The Undertaker. So just be prepared for that one. Yeah,
it'll be like the WWE parade.
Yeah, exactly. Go ahead.
I was going to say it's going to be interesting how they do that because this is not a no disqualification match. It's not. I mean, obviously the ref can get knocked out and then all the shenanigans can happen, but it is not at this point. I mean, The Rock could come out and say, by the way, this is a no DQ match.
I'm
You
the
know,
ball.
There you go.
I'm the final boss. He's done that before, and he can do it
They're gonna
again.
do a ref
So.
bump. They're gonna do a ref bump. You already
Yeah.
know that's a famous thing of WWE. The ref is gonna be down for about 30 hours, and
Yep.
then they're gonna have about 20 people running to the ring. And then finally, the ref wakes up when everything clears. That's classic WWE. We all know that.
I was gonna say Charles Robinson will be in the ring taking that bump.
Oh
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
He's the GOAT in bump. So you
Oh,
know.
oh, yeah.
Oh, if he's taking a bump, oh, you might well get ready for a 3-hour lay down on the
Yep.
ground. Then.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Well,
on the ground
if
for
you
3 hours, we don't see him for another about once the 6 man come in. You be like, God, damn, where's the freaking ref? That's
exactly.
How long he gonna be down.
Let's see, and I was thinking about this, and when I thought about the referee getting hit, Charles Robinson played a big role in Ric Flair's career in WCW, all right, as a referee. All right, he called a lot of those World Heavyweight Championship matches. Does he? And I know we're about done. Everybody knows we're about done. We're done with our predictions. But is he the referee for that match? Does he call 7? Does he ref 17 like he ref for all those matches for Ric Flair? All them years, does he ref 17 for Cena?
It's funny. I thought about that. I said, would it be a perfect way for the record to be broken? Charles Robinson actually referees the main event.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That makes a lot. That makes a lot of sense.
That makes perfect sense to me. The guy's a legend in the industry. Mm-hmm. When you think referees, you got your Earl Hebners, you got your Dakotas. Mike is it Mike Dakota or Chioda?
Yeah, Mike Chioda, yeah.
Yeah, and then you got Tim White, and the list goes on. But you always remember one name, and that's Charles Robinson. No matter where, he goes, that's the name that you remember.
Yeah, back in the days before Charles Robinson was Tommy John.
Tommy John, yes.
Yeah, Tommy John was always in Flair's matches with Dusty Rhodes, Harley Race.
Yes.
And he used to take bumps. He used to take the bumps all the time. And Charles Robinson, he deserves to referee that last match on Sunday.
Oh, I agree with that. Yep. I agree with that.
Yeah. And see, I didn't say it at first because I was seeing if somebody else would say it. I agree with what Brian says. And that's because that's what I mentioned about the summer of Punk 2.0 when I thought and Lady Alpha, to answer your question, I picked Punk to win that match. It's another reason why I'm bringing it back up because she asked who I had picked. I think you do get that summer of Punk 2.0 where Punk is the babyface trying to take the title back from a heel Cena before he takes it home like he said he was going to do. So I think that's a great thought. I had the same one, and I think it just makes a lot of sense.
So what you're saying is that they'll move CM Punk to SmackDown instead of him staying in Raw.
Yeah, because they're going to do a draft not long after Mania anyway, and they'll use that to get him and Paul. And I think Paul Heyman will be there because you want that whole nostalgia feel with Heyman and Punk for that big run there.
Okay.
But if it was me, Big Mike, I would do that. But see, I would think something like that. And the only thing about this is, would you want to do that at Money in the Bank because you got the vice versa of what they had last time? Like you said, I think one of you guys said Punk was the one that said he was going to leave, and that was at the Money in the Bank. I would think if they would want to do that, it was going to be a bill for Money in the Bank because I think Money in the Bank is like October. I think it's not too far. I don't remember the date, but it's so long. I would think that they would say something like that for Money in the Bank so they can replay those video package. But see, the only thing about that, I think the next match is going to be Randy. But I don't have Randy even winning because you have The Rock getting over on everyone. I don't know when Cena would drop this title. But if you want to have him hold it at Money in the Bank and run that match, I think that will sell. That will sell. Especially if you want, I think we're going to be building up to SummerSlam because it is too nice this year. I think that's the way you would go with it. We'll have to see if that's what they want to do because I think they'll be in St. Louis for Backlash. But I think they're going to build that around Randy versus John Cena. I think they say they want to do something big for Randy. I think that's going to be it. That's going to be the marquee match. That's going to be the main event, and I think people are going to want to see that. That's the way I would do it, and then try to build up, try to hold Cena off long enough for Money in the Bank. Now, if they can't, then you go ahead and do the match that you was talking about, Big Mike. That's just my thoughts.
Yeah, I personally would do the Punk match at SummerSlam just because they also have a lot of history at SummerSlam as well. And Money in the Bank is actually in June. It doesn't go to October. So Money in the Bank is actually before SummerSlam.
June 7th. June
Okay,
7th.
well, if it's in June, then you can hold that off to the ending. That's
Yeah.
great. That's perfect. That's just in time enough
thank you,
for
Edward.
you to do
Yeah.
Backlash and then go another. You cheat Randy and you have like Ultimate said that's who you have go against Punk versus Cena, and you build that for the Money in the Bank match. I think everybody will want to see that. I don't remember them saying where Money in the Bank is going to be at this year. Did they even
Los
announce
Angeles.
it?
Los Angeles.
Uh,
Definitely
LA.
then. That's
LA.
perfect. Guess what?
Yeah.
Guess who's in Los Angeles? The Rock.
Yeah.
How you do another appearance? That works perfect. So that'll be great storytelling if you want to do it that way. That's what I would do. I didn't even know that, especially if it's in June. It's in summer. Everyone's out of school. You can build tickets. I think this is the way you can build things back up. You can get your storylines back on track. I feel like you can say that for Money in the Bank. Do Backlash, Cena and Randy. Have John. Have John retain, and you go into Money in the Bank, and you do CM Punk like Ultimate said, and you do Cena and Punk, and maybe have Punk win. Maybe if Paul stays with Punk. We don't know. We're just guessing.
Oh, and sorry, Lady Alpha, I don't know what I read. I picked AJ Styles in their match. I'm not sure what I read, but yeah, I guess I just wanted to talk about that part of the match so much, I just slid right over it. Sped, and you picked Tiffany, right?
Oh, yeah, I picked
Sped?
Tiffany, yeah.
Okay, I thought so. So yeah, just to answer a few questions. Thank you, Lady Alpha, for bringing that back up. Yeah, that is every match at WrestleMania. Hopefully it's going to be a great weekend. We do have one more match to talk about that does nothing to do with WrestleMania. Ultimate one, go ahead, Brian.
Can we talk about Randy? He's going to be there, and there's going to be a match.
Yeah.
Right?
So and we'll go around the room with that. So I'll start with you, Brian, since you brought it up. Who do you think Randy Orton faces at WrestleMania?
I actually think it's going to be Miro, or it's not Miro. Miro's AEW.
Rusev. Yeah, Rusev.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Rusev. Actually, I think they're fast tracking him back. He's already off contract. He's already on contract with WWE. I think it's going to be him.
Okay. Sped?
Aiden English better come back if that happens.
No.
Nah, I'm playing. I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on with that. I would love to see Nick Aldis. That would be cool because he has had a really good run to NWA. Really good NWA champion, too. But, I mean, Miro's coming back. You got a bunch of people that could come back. I mean, this could be a great spot for Cobb to debut. Just walk his ass down to the ring, and Randy's like, not right now.
Yeah, I think Cobb.
I don't.
Cobb's last match is in May. So.
Oh, is it? Oh, my
Yeah.
bad. Okay, yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
see, I was reading rumors and thinking at the same time. Thank you for clarifying that. Where's Stampede at when I need him? I
think
really
Stampede actually said that he ends up this week. His contract is over this week earlier in the show in some of the comments.
don't.
But, I mean, he may be wrong. I don't know.
I thought he was talking about
I
Cross
read-
with that one.
I read that.
No.
I think he's done in May, something like that. I could be wrong too. So
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with Randy, but if anything, I want to see Nick Aldis in the ring. I don't like him as a GM. All right, you got William Regal just sitting on the sidelines right now, waiting to be used. Just pull the trigger, pull it. We haven't had a good GM on SmackDown since what? Holla holla holla, Teddy Long. All right, let's get a new good GM.
I've actually liked Nick Aldis as the GM, but that's just me.
Yeah, well, he keeps messing with Chelsea Green. He needs to go somewhere.
Yeah, but
we
that
ain't
helps
talking
Chelsea
about that
Green.
shit.
That helps Chelsea Green's character.
I know. I love her
Uh,
crap on Twitter, man. That stuff is hilarious.
So, I don't know. I think I'll take the easy route and say it's going to be Solo. Carol thinks it's him or Malachi or Aleister Black. I don't know. I haven't given much thought about it because, I mean, Sped, you know this. I'm still trying to get over the KO loss of him getting hurt. I mean, as you guys see behind me, I'm a huge KO fan. He's my favorite wrestler right now. So I've really tried not to think about Randy Orton at WrestleMania since it's not KO. So I'll take the easy one and say Solo. Although I do want to see Nick Aldis wrestle. Ultimate one. Who do you think Randy Orton wrestles at WrestleMania?
Yeah, I was reading Carol's. She says either Solo or Malachi Black, and I thought about Malachi Black. I think it could be Malachi Black, because nobody's really talking about whether he signed yet or not. But, sometimes WWE like to keep that, quiet, and catch people by surprise. I'll say Malachi Black.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
Miami?
Black.
Yeah, Aleister Black, of course.
Me and Ultimate are on the same page with this. Only thing about this is they're going to use this for a good marketing tactic because this is a guy that's going to be coming from the other company. A second guy that will be appearing on the grandest stage of them all from a different company. The last guy that did it was Cody Rhodes, but Cody won. This is the thing. People have been begging Randy to win. A lot of his matches. They saying that he's supposed to have a big win. Will this affect Aleister Black? Maybe Randy can make Aleister Black look good, but we're forgetting another guy too, Rusev. He or it could be Solo. Maybe Nick Aldis, but I think if Nick leaves, I think it. I know y'all was saying what's his name? I'm drawing a blank from NXT. Real Riku. But I think it's gonna be Nick Aldis' wife because she's no longer on LFG no more. They took her off and replaced her with the Undertaker's wife.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure I thought she wanted to do a couple of doing some general managing too. That's how they could probably replace them. But I think I'm gonna go with the same thing. Let's just go with the safe answer. Maybe it's Solo.
Yeah.
Or it could be, or they can maybe do a triple threat where it's Malachi Black and Solo. They could do stuff like this. That's why they're leaving that door open because they never said it could be a 1-on-1. They never could say it could be a triple threat. We maybe have a fatal 4-way. We don't know. They didn't say it was that. We're just thinking it's one person when they could probably debut Rusev, Malachi Black, and have Solo come in too. And these guys, all four of these guys, just have an incredible match. And Randy still gets to win. We don't know, so we'll have to see. But my safe bet is either Solo or Malachi Black. That's my two picks.
See, and that's really the only reason I didn't really want to do like Rusev or Aleister Black or even Nick Aldis to an extent is because I think they want Randy to win this just because it's going to be that open challenge type deal and Randy's one of the most over people in the business. I think they're going to want him to take a win to have that good moment. And I just don't think you want to have one of those guys debut and lose like that to Randy Orton. That's why I think Solo is the perfect one because Solo could go in and take a loss to Randy Orton and it doesn't hurt Solo because he's still going to be that heel character coming out of it. Like we said with Jacob Fatu, maybe it even fuels the Jacob Fatu thing even more because he goes out there and gets beat by Randy Orton. So that's the only reason I would think Solo over any of those other guys because I don't think you want their first match back or in Nick Aldis' case, first match in WWE really to take a loss to Randy Orton at WrestleMania. That's the only reason I would think that.
Well, you could have any of these guys be in this match and still look good. That's the thing about this. You can have a guy come in and look good. And like you said, I my prayers for KO. I heard he might even get to fight next year, which is sad. But he has had a phenomenal career. Even if he doesn't come back, I hope he's okay. And I know he said he's gonna want a backstage role when he was done. Another person we haven't seen too, Sammy. Where has Sammy been at? Sammy can be another person too, where we can get Sammy to come back. Because remember, Sammy and KO are great friends, You can tell a story there if you want to bring Sami Zayn. A lot of us, I haven't heard that name come out of no one's mouth. Is you can make these guys look good and still come out looking have Randy win. I don't think no one can take a bad loss here if you book this match very well. Like I say, they can do a fatal 4-way and these guys and tear down the house and Randy wins and we'll be like, oh man, all these guys still look good. You can push these guys for later on into the future. We'll have to see.
Okay. Yes, sir. And Brian, I heard you mention Chelsea. We'll skip over that just because she's not on the card right now, as much as we all think she should be. Obviously
she will be, but that's my opinion. So I think she will be.
Okay. How do you? So you think they'll add a match on there?
I do. I think she comes out. No. They have not done that. I just think it'll be a surprise. I think she's going to come out to the ring, and she's going to complain and scream, and Nick Aldis didn't give me this, and why I got this, and then I think, shockingly, she's going to have like an open challenge, and you might see Alexa Bliss. I don't know. Come out and challenge her for that title. Surprisingly,
that would actually be really cool. I hadn't thought about that.
To see that.
I thought it was supposed to be like I think they said it was going to be like 15 matches supposed to be confirmed or something.
I'm not sure. I know they've got 13 now. If you add the Randy Orton one, it makes 14.
So if the rumors are true, if it's supposed to be 15, then you're right, Brian. But I mean that there we go again. We just throwing your champion that you had this title that we supposed to be believing in. Who you gonna have a face again? Me Chin? I think we're tired of seeing that match. Be fast.
I
mean,
Actually,
now if you have a lesser come out, you better have a lesser win. Now I feel like Zelina Vega needs a chance too. Why is Zelina Vega not getting this spot? I mean, I feel like she deserves a chance and to win. That's just my
ultimate one. You had a thought?
Yeah, I know. Like the guys are bringing up the United States champion Chelsea Green, but also the Street Profits don't even have a match in WrestleMania.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
So how is it that you have champions? You got, I don't know how many champions are now in WWE. You got Valkyria not defending her belt, but they're going after her belt. You got the United States Women's Champion not defended. You got the tag team, the Street Profits, who right now probably they hot right now. They're not defending. It's crazy. I don't know what's going on. Maybe to me, and I've been saying this for a while, the WWE roster is getting bloated. The same thing that AEW had, and I mean, you got 14 matches in 2 nights, and you still got 2 champions not in the card. That it doesn't seem right, to me. So I don't know.
Ultimate, another thing to think about possibly is they are defending those titles on this Friday night, like tomorrow night. And I don't think that ends clean at all. In fact, I think there's other teams that get involved, and they may end up making a match on night 2 with the tag titles in some multi-tag team match for the titles.
Well,
that could happen too.
I read on Wrestle Talk that they're changing the match. I think it's supposed to be a 4-way tomorrow, isn't it?
I haven't seen that, but that doesn't mean it
I know there's going to be other teams involved. There's a couple of teams that are not going to be involved in this match. But then again, it's Wrestle Talk. That we don't know how good they are. Whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
But again, you got to have the tag teams. You got the Warriors. They're the tag team champions, but you ain't gonna have the Street Profits in there, and you don't have Chelsea Green. I mean, where did they fit in? Where you gonna throw it? I mean, if you put that match in there, let's say night 2, right? I mean, I don't know how many hours it is. It better be good because you don't want for the match to drag because you're gonna lose the crowd. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because everybody's already being prepared for the card that is being announced. Now you throw in a Chelsea Green, maybe like Brian says, she'll probably come in and complain. Maybe they'll throw her in. So but what about the Street Profits? That's my point.
Yep. Sped, did you have a thought before we get to the matchmaker?
Not really, no.
Okay. Well, we had everybody else kind of talking. I knew you didn't get a chance. I wanted to give you a chance. So, It's about time you didn't have nothing to say. So.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, damn it.
All right. So, Ultimate, I'll let you go last on this one because it's kind of a surprise to you. We talked about it a little earlier on our behind the scenes. Every week on TRI, on the run in, we have a matchmaker series where we pit 4 wrestlers against each other. We kind of fantasy book it in a fatal 4-way match. So this week we've got Stone Cold, The Undertaker, The Rock, and Shawn Michaels, kind of the best of WrestleMania. Fatal 4-way. Miami, I will let you go first because you kind of booked it a little bit before we did the show. Kind of retell everybody how you would book it or if you've changed anything and who you think would win this match.
Okay, the way I booked this is before the street was broken. We're going
this is an attitude era. So I can update Ultimate. It is an attitude era, like attitude era style brawl. So it is pre Brock Lesnar breaking the streak. So.
Yeah, this is attitude era. All 4 guys will be potential Hall of Famers. We're just doing it like past tense. I was saying that Shawn never beat it Undertaker at WrestleMania. You got that story. So that story right there is already building. You have Stone Cold, one of the badasses that's going to be in the WWE. Once his music hit, you automatically a pop. The Rock too, who's going to potentially be a big movie star. We're just saying like none of this has ever happened. We're just talking pretense. I'm putting this in context so we can all get the picture of what we have here and what we're working with. We're working with The Undertaker, one of the best workers in the ring. Shawn Michaels, one of the best performers in the ring. And Stone Cold, maybe one of the best guys on the mic, and also The Rock. So this match is a main event. If we was doing night 1, night 2, I don't give a damn. They probably run it back again on night 2 with this match. The Undertaker will win this match because, one, I feel like all 4 guys, if you wanted to do it, if you wanted to break the streak, it had to be Shawn or Triple H. No disrespect to The Rock, no disrespect to Stone Cold. They're great. But these 2 guys, this Undertaker, he faced the most Triple H and Shawn Michaels. If anyone wanted to break the streak, you had to go with those 2. Undertaker wins. He pins Stone Cold. And that's how you build a feud for your next match. Undertaker versus Stone Cold. Or he can pin Shawn Michaels. And maybe you can build a match. But I feel like you'll get a better match feud if it's Shawn and Undertaker. Undertaker takes the win.
All right, Brian, you're up.
All right, so I'm gonna go a little bit different because I think when you say this is pre Brock Lesnar breaking the streak, almost everybody probably wants to take the Undertaker to preserve the streak. Well, I'm not gonna do that. He's not gonna win this match. In fact, I think one of the best feuds, obviously, of the Attitude Era was The Rock and Stone Cold. It's one of the most memorable of my childhood. Like, I think in this match, somehow or another, those 2 basically brawl out. You know, they get out of the ring, they're brawling, and towards the end of it, to set them up for their feud that they have, right? So neither one of them are winning this 4-way. So it comes down to the Undertaker and Shawn Michaels. I think at this time, I think it's very, very close, but I think Triple H comes out and helps HBK beat the Undertaker and takes and essentially the DX group, beats Undertaker. So HBK wins this match.
Sped?
I'm going a different route. I won't say The Undertaker, but I will say Shawn as well. On this reason, though, it's a fatal 4-way. Shawn got this close to beating him before by himself. All right. And then, you saw it twice. He lost twice, and that was it. That was it for his career. There's 2 other guys this time. And then you also got H that could come out. And, on top of that, this is so she might still be alive and be around China. All right. You also got to think about that for a second. Okay. So, we got all this going on. Everything's moving. The pieces are going. How it ends is chaotic. All right. Taker does a tombstone, but gets hit by Stone Cold Stunner. He does a tombstone on Shawn, gets hit with a stunner. Right. Sean rolls over, of course, on his belly, after he gets tombstone. Here comes Austin, stunner on Taker. Rock comes in, hits a RKO, not RKO, god damn it, rock bottom. It's been 2 hours in now.
It's late. It's late.
Yeah, I'm tired.
Okay, Rocker
But
hitting RKOs. Let me find out.
Yeah,
Rock.
right. Rock's hitting RKOs out of nowhere. But yeah, so we got that going.
Rock just hits the RCK instead of the RKO.
Yeah.
Right.
The ROK. I guess I could have done that a little better. It could be the ROK.
Rock goes to do the whole, he gets to hold people's elbow. He's getting cocky, eats the sweet chin music, but instead of falling on Rock, he falls on Taker. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, so he gets knocked out into the pin.
Well, he does his whole little, after he hits the super kick.
Yeah. So, and I hate going third on this one because I was actually going to pick Shawn Michaels, but since the two of you guys picked Shawn Michaels, I'm going to go a different route, and just pick somebody completely different just to be different. I'm actually going to go with Stone Cold. And look, you just stumped some butthole in everybody. Drink some beers, beats the streak. That's how you celebrate beating the streak, brother. You get some beers, you have a good night on the town. That you just beat the Undertaker streak. Shawn Michaels maybe takes him out. Maybe Triple H comes out and helps Shawn Michaels take the Undertaker out. Then you get a good one-on-one match between Stone Cold and The Rock. Stone Cold just beats him down. Stunner, 1, 2, 3. Drink some Steve Weiser. Celebrate that you beat the streak and have the Hall of Fame career that you're supposed to have. So, ultimate one. What are your thoughts?
Well, I'm going to go with Stone Cold for the simple fact if this is Attitude Era. Remember, Stone Cold Steve Austin on the Attitude Era, he used to be wild, and especially this is a 4-way, so anything goes. So chairs are going to be involved. I see Stone Cold blasting a chair over the Undertaker. The Rock probably, I call it rock bottoming the Stone Cold, but then Shawn Michaels comes in, he super kicks the Rock, but then Stone Cold comes in again, gets up. He's Stone Cold Shawn Michaels, and he pins Stone Cold Shawn Michaels. He pins him. So that's the way I see it.
I like that.
Yeah.
Ultimate agreed with me. Yes, I wasn't the only one that said Stone Cold. Thank you, sir. Makes me sound a little bit smarter. I like it.
Yeah.
But that is our show, guys. Thank you guys so much for being with us. I'll go around the room. Let everybody tell us where they can find you, what podcast you're with. Start out with you, Ultimate, at the end of the line. Tell everybody where they can find you.
Yeah, y'all can find me on the Chokeslam Wrestling Report. You can find me on YouTube channel. I do a podcast every twice a week now. You can also find me on Facebook, Instagram, the X, and whatnot. You can also find little bits and pieces of TikTok. So I'm everywhere, man. Just again, the Chokeslam Wrestling Report. Subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, hit that thumbs up. I'll definitely appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Miami, tell everybody where they can find you.
They can find me on Miami the Great 645 on X. The official Miami the Great on Instagram. We also do spaces for the PLEs for WWE. Anytime there's a watch party, we will do those for PLEs on Saturdays. When it's not a PLE, me and Final Boss Baby, we either go live on YouTube once a month or we're on X doing Talk It Up, which you can see in my background. You can catch us 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time where we discuss, wrestling like how we did with you guys today. And I thank y'all guys for having me on. Hope to be on again. Finally, I'll get the computer set right this time.
Yeah, next time, though, if you can't get your computer right, I need to see that logo in the background. If you're not going to be on screen, at least put your logo up instead of that nice beat scene.
I was trying to do everything. I was like, Lord. I was like, man, look, laptops, I'm going back to my phone. I'm going back to the phone.
Yes, sir. Brian, let everybody know where they can find you, brother.
During the NFL season, you can find me at a show, Show Enough Divided, on Shakeback Media Group. Part of that, we really only run during the season, so we're not running right now. You can find me on Twitter at Sooner25411, the Ring General, of the Stutzman Army, which you don't need to understand that. I had to keep it on there because it's part of my stick.
I like how you integrated it. I respect that. I know. I changed it. When I went to go find you today to tell you about the show, I noticed it. And I'm like, oh shit, I got the wrong account. So yeah, it freaked me out a little bit, but it was good to see.
Yeah, it's a good way to merge, wrestling with football there. So try to merge my name a little bit. So.
And Carol's been asking about you all week about you being on the show.
Yes.
So,
Carol, it's nice to see you in here.
Sped, tell everybody where they can find you other than here.
Google Sped.
It's that easy, ladies and gentlemen.
It works.
That's
okay.
That's when you know you're the star of the show. All you have to do is say 2 words instead of everything else that all of us are having to say, trying to promote everything. That's how you know he's the star of the show. All he has to do is say Google Sped. That's it. So
I mean, the first name that comes up is special education. It's an abbreviation for special education.
Oh, then
it's the only thing that
Brock
comes
at
up.
the end of it too.
I'm kidding.
It should be the scientific term of how Sped really is. That should be what pops up.
Right.
No.
and yes, Brian is from Oklahoma. So,
Yes, I am. Indeed.
And you can catch me on pretty much all social media at _Big Mike 27 here on YouTube at the Running Wrestling Podcast or at Big Mike 27. Please, you heard everybody else's podcast, you heard everybody else's access. Please go like, follow, subscribe, do all the things for everybody on the show. Thank you guys so much, all of you being here. We'll definitely have to book it, especially if one of you win the crown. You'll have to be back for Backlash to defend your crown. So hopefully we'll definitely have you guys back on, maybe sooner, maybe than later, depending on who wins the crown. Thank you guys so much for coming on. We couldn't have done this without you. And thank you, everybody in the comments, for making the conversation go so great. Everybody from the DWE family. I saw Final Boss Baby. I saw Greg, everybody else. Thank you guys for jumping in. For Big Mike, Sped, Brian, Miami, and Ultimate One, thank you guys so much. And let's have a great freaking weekend for WrestleMania. Thank you guys.